There is a big misconception about shiny Pokemon and the coloration of Pokemon in the Pokemon universe. Quite a lot of people have thought that some of the shiny Pokemon were actually swapped with their standard version. So today, we are going to be discussing if this could be true or not. Did the developers actually accidentally swap the color palettes of certain Pokemon or not? Sign in and make sure to comment your thoughts down below as we discuss the colors of Pokemon. The colors of Pokemon. Sounds like a movement for the equality of colored Pokemon. Meh, that might have been the stupidest thing I've ever said in my life. Since, you know, Pokemon aren't real, but thankfully that's not real. And there is no racism in Pokemon, so thank God for that. But what's the theory? Well, it's simple. People have seen shiny Pokemon and thought at times the shiny version looks worse or better than the standard version. And to that extent, there is also the idea that some Pokemon's shinies were accidentally swapped when color came to Pokemon. Return to 1998 with me, November. Pokemon has been out for about a month, but unfortunately didn't have time to be developed for the Game Boy Color, meaning it lacked true color support. However, the original Red and Blue did release with support for some color, very simple colors, like a town would be covered in blue, red, or even yellow, if used with the Game Boy Color or Super Game Boy systems and higher.
But Proto, why is this information important? But Proto, I don't need a history lesson. But Proto, it's green, not blue.
Comment section, if you know your history, you will know and understand that the color was not supported properly until 1999. What this means is that there was no real concept of shiny Pokemon in the original games due to the lack of color support. That would indicate that there is no way for a developer to accidentally swap the color palettes. And so if a Pokemon is shiny, it was made shiny for a reason. Intentional or not, ugly or ridiculous, the colors used were the developer's choice, and it's what they put for that Pokemon. Real support for shiny Pokemon did not exist until Gold and Silver in 1999, when Pokemon were more individualized with color. Further, Pokemon Crystal was released and altered several things, including some sprites, colorations, and shinies. And once more, this was after the original Pokemons were released.
But Proto, 1998 and 1999 are pretty close. The developers could have possibly just swapped shiny sprites still.
Oh, comment section. You might have a point there if 1998 was originally when Pokemon was released. But it was only released outside of Japan in 1998. Pokemon was released in 1996. The original Pokemon had no support for coloration unless you were using that Super Game Boy, and the developers changed many of the sprites also. But even back then, 1996, the game had been in development for 4 years. The developers probably changed many things in that time span, and when reworking all the sprites for Red and Blue's releases 2 years later also. But even with all that time, there was no individual Pokemon support for color, and yet the shiny Pokemon didn't show up until years later. There is no way the developers could have accidentally swapped the colors of Pokemon, shiny versions, or anything else like that, because they didn't really have the support for coloring of the games to begin with. So I would consider this theory debunked. There was no accidentally swapped Pokemon colors or shinies due to the lack of color support. But think about this. The Psyduck and Golduck are the most common Pokemon that people assume are swapped palettes. But even then, asking that question is like insulting the creator of the series. Saying, oh, you know that game you created? Yeah, you probably screwed up the colors and the shiny versions of them, right? You worked on it for 4 years, but yeah, you couldn't even get the coloration right. And that sarcasm is where I will end this theory. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're still signed in, please remember to like and share the video. Comment down below what you think. People can be wrong and I can be wrong. So please prove me wrong or tell me why I am wrong if you feel I am. I've been your host Protomario and I'm signing out. As always, good gaming and God bless. Thanks for watching my video and making it to the end. If you want to see my theories a day early, make sure to head over to my Patreon where donators get a day early viewing of my newest theories. And follow follow me over on Twitter to see my updates about certain videos and access to some cool unlisted hidden content as well. If you don't have Twitter, I am on Tumblr too, so be sure to check out my videos on your preferred social networks or subscribe here on good old YouTube. I've been on YouTube for a while now, and I don't plan on going anywhere soon, so I hope you keep supporting me by liking the video and sharing it where you can on Facebook or Twitter or other forums as well. Thank you again for taking a bit of time out to support me, and I hope to see you here next time on Pokemon Theory. Please note that in all my videos, if I use images from Google, that I do not own any of those images, and all images obtained from Google are owned by their respective owners and copyrights. So please remember this when watching my Pokemon Theories. Thanks.